Hello, Mark Crossfield here, comparing today Callaway's XR Steelhead against the Callaway Big Bertha iron. Both of these irons are kind of souped up. Let's show you how they compare for me. I've got some real ball data showing you some numbers also on kind of distances and launch and what have you Let's show you what these Callaway irons souped up could do for your golf game. Let's get stuck in. So we got the Callaway XR Steelhead Big Bertha iron. Comparing these two down by the ball, they look very different. So out of the two, for me, I can see the XR appealing to a lot more people. It's chromed, little less offset maybe, but they look very similar. Top line on both of these, maybe a fraction thinner on the XR, but it's still chunky. But when you start looking at the Big Bertha, or the Big Bertha here, sorry, it's very chunky out in the toe, big weighting out in the heel and toe. Same with XR, but it's just a little slender. I think it'll appeal to more people. Also, you get the darker finish on the Big Bertha as well. I've done full reviews on both of these. If you want to look in more detail of what they're about, check those out as well. But this is just to compare, to show you the numbers I get with these two clubs. The lengths of these two as well. You're looking at half an inch longer in the Big Bertha over the XR also. I'm going to start with the Big Bertha. Darker finish, bit of offset, very chunky. I think this is going to really appeal to someone who wants as much help as possible. It looks and feels down by the ball pretty powerful. I do like the two white lineup lines across the darker face. Look nice. You do start to see a little bit of the club out the back also, which for me isn't the most appealing. Yeah, it's so funny when I hit this club because it's like a gun going off. It really does feel strong. It makes those big sounds, big clippy bang sounds that do make you feel like they're really firing, and no problem pushing this ball up in the air with this club. It absolutely fires. We'll look at some numbers, distance and spin and what have you to see where that's coming from. I don't mind the darker finish. I've used clubs with darker finishes and that's fine. I think more people prefer the chrome. But like I said, I think if you want chunky monkeys, that is one that's way up in the air. Absolutely no problem launching that. These are some chunky monkeys. So let's give them a compare to the XR, kind of trying to deliver similar ideas in distance and help, those kind of things. But I would say in a much more classic package, very reminiscent. I think Callaway's in the X12, X14 kind of era. It does actually look like that. Chrome head looks nice, a little bit slimmer top lines. Don't see the back of the club out the back. Similar sound, similar launch, similar feel. Maybe a little bit firmer feeling off the face on that one, but it's hardly anything. I really think on these two it's going to be so much down to what one you like the look of more. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell a difference. This one maybe feels a little firmer off the face. Ball flights on them look identical. We're going to look at the numbers. We're going to hit one more with XR. It does sit nice down by the ball. It does remind me of those classic Callaway era clubs, which I like. And again, that's just way up in the air. No problem launching either of those for me. Let's look at these numbers. I do think Big Bertha, because it is chunkier in places, people will put it down by the ground and feel like they can launch it better, those kind of things. Let's see if I did launch it any different. So numbers time. Big Bertha 178 average yards to 180 with the XR. Not much in those two at all. Peak height with both of them were 31. So even though the Big Bertha does for me make me feel like I can get the ball up in the air a bit more, wasn't the case. 17 to 16.5 launch on both clubs as well. You can see performing almost identically. 4,500 spin rate with the XR, 4,800 spin rate with the Big Bertha. So, you know, what are we talking there? 300 revs difference, which is going to come so much more down to strike than it is for me. For me, those two irons, they're both going to help people who want to feel like the club's working when they're mishitting it. I think the Big Bertha is going to appeal to people more if they are using a bit more of the face and maybe have a lower ball flight. Even though my numbers aren't backing that up, that definitely gives me the feeling down by the ball, and that's as important as any of these numbers. Yeah, very interesting. Almost identical numbers on those two. Very similar clubs. Lots of golf companies do this nowadays. I think they're building a lot of clubs that are all around your kind of preconceptions of what you want a club to do in its looks to what you want it to do in its feels, compared to just having complete different data numbers. Very, very close. Post comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the videos as always. Let me know, are these two clubs you would try or not? Love to hear. Speak to you soon. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, all the normal social places. Also, come and visit my new website, markcrossfieldgolf.com. See you over there.